But the intrigue doesn't stop there, because our next segment sees Cesaro come out.
He didn't even come out. We just came back from the commercial.
Oh, yeah, we came back, and
he was sitting on the freaking mat with his back up against the turnbuckles with a mic in his hand, and the first thing he said was, I have a lot I want to get off my chest. And immediately I'm thinking, oh my God, Cesaro is cutting a pipe bomb, because that's exactly how CM Punk started his in June of 2011.
And see, I have such conflicting feelings about what happened with all this, so I think we have a very interesting discussion upcoming. But just to get into what he said 2014 should have been his year. He won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania 30, and he says WWE decision makers are now telling him that he doesn't connect. And Cesaro says that they're right. He delivers. He doesn't connect. And he delivers every time he's in the ring. And that's because, he doesn't care about connecting with any of us. He doesn't care. And I love this line here. He doesn't care about the pageantry, the pyro, the fancy entrances. All he cares about is what he does every time he steps into the ring. He says there's nobody in WWE who can hold a candle to what he does when he steps inside the ropes. Cesaro says if anyone thinks they can, come out and try him. Now, I love that Cesaro said all this, and admittedly, the fan in me loved what happened subsequently, the music that hit and everything that followed. However, you know that you and I usually pick apart segments here and we talk about it, and I'm not so sure if I'm in love with this now as I was initially. I think the honeymoon's kind of over, so to speak. What did you think about all this?
Well, I was just getting ready to say, it was about as toned down of a pipe bomb as you can have. Like,
right.
CM Punk came out and he said, John Cena, while you're laying there, hopefully as uncomfortably as you possibly can, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest, blah, blah, blah. Cesaro says, I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest. And then he proceeds to basically just say that he is really, really good at wrestling and doesn't care about anything else other than that. I mean, at least when Punk could say what he said, he could say in that ring, on this microphone, even at commentary, I can't be touched. Whereas Cesaro's just like, I'm really good in the ring. No one can beat me in the ring. And then he proceeds to get beaten in the ring.
Yeah, and see, that's a great point, too. First of all, it was Bad News Barrett music that hit. And admittedly, I popped. I know you popped, Ashton. Your mom popped. Everybody's going crazy.
My mom almost friggin' bawled when Barrett came out.
I know, and I love that. And admittedly, they had a solid match, and yes, Barrett
Did
does.
They?
I enjoyed it.
It was 3 minutes, dude.
Well, I mean, honestly, I felt like they did quite a bit of stuff, at least for me, that I didn't even keep track of time. I didn't even know it was that short. I mean, I liked what they did. I'll just put it that way. But
I don't know. It just felt really short to me. I didn't keep track or anything. The 3 minutes thing was just an estimate because that's about how long it felt to me.
Right.
Because it was Cesaro comes in with this immediate barrage of offense. I said barrage, and we're talking about Wade Barrett. But Cesaro came in and he kind of came out like a house on fire, and then Barrett reversed a couple of things, and then Cesaro did a couple of things, and then Barrett did a couple of things, and then it was over.
Yeah, and Barrett wins. And I think my biggest qualm with this, and I mentioned it on Tweetoff, I'm a fan of both guys, and I'm really happy for Barrett. I mean,
what this felt like to me?
What did this feel like to
you? You know how on NXT, anytime we get a well-established or a relatively new but still big-name talent against not necessarily a jobber, but a guy who doesn't necessarily win a lot of matches, we like to call it an exhibition match.
Yeah.
This felt like a double exhibition match, but it just so happened that one of the guys had to lose.
Yeah.
This felt like the WWE said, Barrett, we want you to get in all your stuff. Cesaro, we want you to get in all your stuff. But at the end of the day, Barrett, you're winning.
Yeah. And see, to me, again, I'm happy for Barrett. I'm elated that he's back.
Yeah, and you know what? I do want to say it felt very, very babyface, that promo.
Oh, yes, thank you for reminding me, because he does cut a promo. And he says, I'm sorry to hear that you don't want to connect.
See, and that's the thing. It's not even just what he said. It was the way he said it. He said it in a very pandering, get the audience to say it along with me kind of way.
Yeah, I loved how he opened it. It's me! It's me!
It's
BNB!
BNB. Oh yes, that was awesome. And
It
that
was,
dude, he needs to start using that every single time he comes out. Every single time, because it worked for DDP. It's gonna work for BNB. And then he proceeds with blah blah blah. But I'm afraid I've got some bad news. And the crowd loves it. My mom's over here freaking out, even though he's not even in sight, because I'm just copying what he said. And it's already over, and it's only going to get more over the more he does it, especially if he's telling bad guys that he has bad news for them.
yeah, yeah, and that's why I initially liked the Bad News Bearer gimmick, because I felt like it had that fluidity where he can deliver bad news to faces and heels. And
See, but the
not
problem with that logic is this is the WWE, and there's no such thing as a well-booked tweener, so he's going to be a babyface.
Right, right. But I guess the point I wanted to make, because yeah, Barrett was awesome tonight. I'm happy for him. I'm happy he's back. It seems like he will gain his momentum back. I was a little worried about how he would re-enter the picture and everything, so that's all great. But I think this match kind of illustrates a bigger problem for me, and that's that one of these guys, had their momentum, had their catapult at the expense of the other guy.
To me, dude,
yeah.
and I know that there are time issues and all that stuff, but to me, the best thing that they could have done here was have Cesaro cut his promo on Main Event or on SmackDown and have him go against a babyface jobber. And for tonight, rather than Cesaro being the guy to be the first victim of a returning Bad News Barrett, should have been Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Heath Slater would have been absolutely perfect for that spot. He comes out, he starts trash talking the crowd. I'm the one-man band, baby! And next thing you know, that hits, and Barrett comes out talking about how, oh, you think you're a one-man band? Well, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. I'm about to put the band out of business. And then he gets in there and destroys it.
And that would have been great. I think an even better pick, and I only say that because Heath Slater, I know he's kind of indisposed of right now with his own personal issues.
Oh, really? Oh, man,
yeah,
that's a shame. He's such a perfect job guy, too.
He is. I actually, just to kind of further the story, and you could have killed two birds with one stone, Adam Rose. Have him come out with the
No, because he's heel. Oh, well, yeah, but he's kind of in the middle of a transition, though. That's why.
See, like that's what I'm saying. Like Bad News Barrett beating him, maybe because the Rosebuds, because he still brings the human people out. He sent the bunny to the Bad Bunny's gone.
Yeah.
And it could have just furthered that transition. So I feel like Adam Rose, only because Heath Slater was indisposed of, because I'm picking up everything you're saying about that. Adam Rose would have been ideal here, because yeah, I'm glad you at least agree that I think Cesaro should have gotten his own platform to do this promo. I would have even extended the promo a little bit, given him a babyface jar, have him squash, and then make it seem like Cesaro.
They really should have just had him do tonight what he did over the weekend and tell people to cut his music because it's not good and then go into the promo.
Yes! I was waiting for that too. I'm like, is he going to replicate what he... And he didn't. Like, I don't know. I like this. I did. It's not even me trying to crap all over, but it's such a mixed bag for me.
He could even bring up the past and be like, cut my music because it's not very good. I was better off earlier on in the year when I came out to no music at all.
Yeah. Wow, that would have been awesome.
Do you remember that when he broke away from Zeb at first and he was a Paul Heyman guy? He came out to no music whatsoever?
Yeah, I remember that.
And then they introduced that siren crap and they've been tweaking it ever since, and they still haven't gotten it right because the problem isn't the kind of siren they're using, it's that they're using sirens.
Yeah. Scott
Who does he think he is? DJ Z?
Yeah, you said DJ Z, and I'm like, Scott Steiner's going to sue somebody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's pretty much that for that segment. We get more hype for the Cutting Edge Peep show with Seth Rollins. The more I say the name, the more I do like it. Luke Harper is backstage. He says he's a product of our environment, even though we shun him. He says he's a nightmare come to life. Harper wishes us sweet dreams. Really eerie stuff.
Dude, Luke Harper is so good. Like, I know everyone loves Bray Wyatt, but if we're all being honest with ourselves, Luke Harper's better than Bray in every way imaginable. He's more creepy. He's more charismatic. He has a more interesting delivery that we haven't heard a million times over the course of the last year. He's significantly better in the ring. He's more athletic. I can't name a way that Luke Harper isn't better than Bray Wyatt, other than being a bad role model.
I am so relieved and happy that you just said all that, because I love Bray Wyatt very much. I mean, he's in my top two favorite competitors, to be sure. I just love every time he's in the ring. But I see Luke Harper, the man's size, his athleticism, his promo cutting. He's going to go farther than Bray Wyatt. He's going to go farther, I think, than anybody in the Wyatt family. I mean, certainly Eric Rowan is really burned out, which is a shame.
Well, I guess that's what happens when you have him job to the Big Show on 2 consecutive nights, including a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and a live event in Madison Square Garden, where moments are, allegedly made. I guess not.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, but you know what, Ashton? I feel like 2015 is going to be very good to Luke Harper. One of my favorite things to do, because I'm such a little kid at heart, is put guys that I really like in the gimmick matches that I love most, and I'll be like, oh, I want to see this guy Money in the Bank or this and that. I want to see Luke Harper in a freaking chamber next year and just destroy everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it'd be amazing. So yeah, 2015 I think is looking very promising for Luke Harper, but let's not discount him finishing out 2014 because he has a match against Jack Swagger. And,
I don't know why you said it like that. You said it like Jack freaking Swagger,
yeah,
man.
Jack, get a mid-card title shot, lose it, and then go back to jobbing Swagger. Because that's exactly what happens here. The match...
Oh my God.
What?
Apparently, Randy Orton showed up after Raw went off the air and RKO'd everyone.
Oh, dick.
Is he going to be the big Royal Rumble return this year since Bryan's already announced that he's going to be back?
Maybe.
Freaking A, man. Why couldn't they put that on TV? Apparently, I think I just answered my own question because they're apparently saving him for Rumble, which is really frustrating.
This just to take a quick little pod shot because I just said I'm like a child sometimes and apparently I'm very immature. This just shows you how much better Randy Orton is to John Cena because Randy Orton's been gone all this time and I really miss him and I can't wait to see him come back. If John Cena took all this time off, I'd be like, oh man, how wonderful for the product. So yeah. Jack Swagger, Luke Harper, not really much to say here. I mean, Luke Harper does get the win after a beautiful lariat. Oh, you know what? There is something to say here. And it wasn't a nitpick or a heat of the night because I felt like that would just be, watered down to me throwing a hissy fit. But screw you, JBL. Screw you. He hits the lariat on Jack Swagger.
Oh,
and JBL, clothesline from smell, Michael. Shut the hell up. What is wrong with you? Oh, my God. We were talking about just a few minutes ago, Ashton, how Luke Harper, he has this presence, this great in-ring work, all this stuff, and commentary once again just mows people down. Like, why would you say that about a character like this? Show intimidation. Have a little bit of trepidation in your voice saying, he's really a force to be reckoned with. Hell, even put on your somber voice that we know you do. But just to be like, clothesline from smell, I'm having fun out here, Michael. Yeah, well, I'm not. So, screw you. And, yeah.
We have fun on Monday nights, Michael.
But Luke Harper does get the win after his lariat. And, I'm excited for what Luke Harper's going to do next year.
Yeah. I think I already kind of sold him enough as it is, but Luke Harper, just amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.